to. There we go. All right. So starting with our breathing. Get nice and comfortable on our backs. I'm just taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and letting the stomach rise and fall. Okay, then let's push our low back into the floor, brace our abs, and then continue with our breathing. Still trying to allow the rise and fall of our stomach. It will be a little restricted as we brace, but still where we want to feel the rise and fall. And then as we breathe out, we can add in leg lifts. So we can do bent knee, or we can straighten the leg, lift the leg as we breathe out. Good, now let's plant our feet. Keep that feeling we've established in our core. And then we're gonna go into a glute bridge hold. So we're gonna squeeze our glutes, push our hips up to the ceiling, and keep that tension in our core. And we'll start with the breath out in 3, 2, 1. Breathing out. We want to make a straight line if possible from our knees to our hips to our shoulders. If we need to be lower than that, that's fine. We just don't need to go higher than that. And we just need to keep breathing. Just a bit longer. 3, 2, 1. Slowly down into a lying knee hug, pulling the knees towards the chest. And if we like, also keeping our hips on the ground, still not lifting them up like I am here. I still keep them down, and then pull the knees. And then we can add a little side to side rocking. Let the head swivel as well. We don't want anything twisting here. We just want to rock the body. Okay, center. Plant our feet again. We'll straighten one leg out. Flex the foot, so big toe towards the head. Bring the leg straight up as high as we can. Grab behind the leg, and then breathing in, lowering as we point the toes. Breathing out, flexing the foot again, straightening the leg. Okay, switch to the other leg, flex the foot, point the toes, and flex the foot. Nice and slow with the breath. Okay, come on towards side. Top knee comes up, comes down, trap the knee on the floor. Arm comes out in front, deep breath in. And breathing out, following the hand, keeping this knee down. Letting gravity pull on you a bit here, don't force it. And then breathing in, touching the floor. Okay, let's turn and face the other way. Same thing, just different side. Deep breath in and out. Okay, and then we can go into our side plank from here. So elbow under the shoulder, no matter what option you're doing. You can go from the knees, you can add an arm in, you can stick a leg out. We can stack the feet. Lots of choice here. We're going to do that for 30 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Breathing out. Keeping our eyes forward and just steady breathing while we hold this. Just a bit longer. 3, 2, 1. Slowly down. Facing the other way. Same option for both sides. We want to keep it even. And we'll continue 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Slowly down. Then onto our front. Set up like a table. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and then we'll do isolateral bird dogs. We'll do left arm, right leg for 30 seconds, and then we'll do the other 2 limbs. And we stick our leg back, want to point our toes at the floor, fingertips at the wall, and then we keep our eyes down the whole time, and we'll breathe out as we reach. And we'll start that in 3, 2, 1. You can move at your own pace here. Just try to include a pause when we're extended. And we'll switch sides and keep it going for another 30 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Let's go into our half kneeling. Open book. So knee over ankle and knee under hip. We want to tuck the tailbone underneath ourselves so we get a little bit of stretch here. And then try and keep a nice tall posture. Hands come together, and when we breathe out, we open up one way. Breathing close. breathe out, open up the other way. And we're always following the traveling hand with our eyes. And we'll do 30 seconds for each knee, starting in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's switch legs. And then we will continue. And 3, 2, 1. Breathing out. And 3, 2, 1. Let's come to standing. And we'll finish with our 60-second cross crawl. So you can do hand to knee, you can do elbow to knee, you can do hand to foot. You can choose to do just one of them. You can combine all of them, and it's up to you. And we're going to do it for 60 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Find a nice steady pace for yourself. And you don't have to breathe out with every touch. Just try to find a nice steady rhythm. Just a bit longer, about 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Get a sip of water, and then we're on to our core exercises. Okay. So first up is a front plank hold. So we can come down onto our elbows underneath shoulders, and we're either doing it from our knees, or we can do it from our toes, or if you really are kind of in between those two, you can do 3 seconds on your knees, breathe out onto the toes, back to the knees, back to the toes, like so. Otherwise, you're just going to stick and hold one of them. And we'll start that with a breath out in 3, 2, 1. Keeping our breath steady and just looking at the space between our hands. Just a bit longer. And 3, 2, 1, slowly down and onto our back. So when we do core exercise for our back, we want to remember to push our low back into the floor, brace our lower abdominals, and kind of feel that contact. And then with this one, we're going to take our hands, we can push them down and away into the floor near our hips just to give a little extra support. And then as follows, we can do breathing out, just like we kind of did in our warm-up. We can do alternating bent knees, Make it a little harder by not touching the floor. You stop just shy of it. You can do both legs together, like so. Or you can go bent knee into straight leg. And same thing, you can make it harder by not touching the floor, or both legs straight. And same thing, you can do touch the floor or not touch the floor, depending on where you're at. We're going to do that for 30 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Breathing as we move. Make sure to pause briefly after each movement and feel in control. We don't want to rely on momentum here. Three, 2, 1. Good. It's a tough one. And then side plank with arm movement. So you can do this with a weight if you want, a small dumbbell, nothing too heavy, or you can do it without a weight. So all the normal side plank options still applies from the knees. You can do one leg out or legs stacked. And if you are starting with a weight, I want you to start with it in the air as we go up. And then we breathe out as we center, breathe in as we lower, breathe out as we center, breathe in as we raise. So we're always breathing out when the weight comes towards that middle for the little pause there. And we'll do 30 seconds all together, starting in 3, 2, 1. 'Just a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Same setup as the other side. Give everybody a moment. And we'll start all together in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Good. Set the weight down. And we're on to our front for the bird dog fire hydrant. So we did a little bit of bird dog earlier. So what the fire hydrant adds is we do our normal bird dog, we reach out, and then we can bring our hand down, knee comes in, breathing out, knee goes out to the side as best we can without rotating our body open. So my shoulders should stay over my respective wrists. So even if I can only come out a little bit, that's fine. If I can get out further, that's great. And if you want to make it harder, you can just keep your arm out as you bring your leg out and then bring them both back in. And we'll do 30 seconds total. So take your time with this one, really gauge how far you can move that knee without twisting. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, breathing out and in. Breathing out and in. Oops. And 3, 2, one, get a sip of water. Whew. It is super hot in Ottawa today. I think it's over 30 degrees. And even in my basement, it is getting to me a little bit. Okay, so we're on to the balance drill. So we'll do one leg at a time for 60 seconds each. I'm going to start on my left leg. We want a focal point on the wall and one on the floor. So when we breathe out, we bring a knee up. Breathe in, come down. You can stay floating or touch the floor. Breathing out, leg comes to the side. Try to avoid doing this, like bring your whole torso over. We want to try and move the leg out, keeping this all square. And then breathing out and tipping forward, and emphasis on keeping a nice straight back. So I'm not doing this to get low. I want to keep my back straight and then bend at the hips. And if we need, we can walk that foot back, break contact with the floor, and walk that foot back in. Okay, so we'll do 60 seconds, starting on the left foot is our base foot. And we'll start that in 3, 2, 1, breathing out. And of course, at your own pace here, just make sure you're moving with your breath. And there's no need to rush here. It's not about how many we can do. It's really finding that zone where we can get control of our balance and then return to center. Just a bit longer. And 3, 2, 1. So let's take that base leg. We'll draw little circles with our big toe. And we'll go the other way. And then you can just give it a little shake out if that feels good. And then we'll switch to our other foot. And we'll continue 3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1. Good. Get a sip of water. And then we're back to the front plank hold. Come down to the ground and get set up roughly so that we can start with a breath out. Give everyone a moment here. Okay. All right, so we'll start with the breath out in 3, 2, 1. Keeping our eyes on the floor and our breathing steady. Halfway. Three, 2, 1. Slowly down and onto our back. Press that low back into the floor, brace the core, hands come down, pushing you down and away into the floor for a little bit of extra support. And then we set up for whatever movement we're going to do, and we start in 3, 2, 1. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Slowly back down. And then onto our side for our side plank with arm movement. So remember, if you are using a weight, start with it in the air before you lift yourself up. Excuse me. Okay. And we will start in 3, 2, 1. Breathing as we center our arm or the weight. Breathing out as we lower. Sorry. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out as we center. Three, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Okay. Arm up in the air before we start, and we will continue. 3, 2, 1. Keeping our eyes forward. Three, 2, 1. Good. Onto our front once more for our bird dog fire hydrant. So set up like a table again. Give everybody a moment. And then we'll get ready to continue in 3, 2, 1. Breathing out. In and out. Three, 2, 1. Good. Get a sip of water. And then we're back to the balance drill before we do some stretches. So we're going to start on that left leg again. Give yourself your focal points on the ground and on the floor. And then we will start 60 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Breathing out. And 3, Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Let's give that leg a little bit of relief. We'll draw our circles. Go the other way. And we can just gently shake it out if that feels good. And then we'll plant that other foot and we'll continue in 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Let's get a sip of water if you need. And then we're laying on our backs on our mat. Try to get relatively comfortable as we'll be stretching. And we don't want anything distracting from the stretch. Oh, before you get down, actually, is get a belt band or strap and have it nearby just to save yourself the trip. I'm just going to take out my watch here. I find it gets in the way and presses up against stuff when I'm trying to stretch. So, there we go. All right. So on our back, feet are planted. Try your best to get comfortable. And we're going to take our left leg and bring it across our right thigh, lower than the knee. We don't want the shin pressing on the knee. It's just very uncomfortable. And then we're just going to start at rest and see how this feels. This may be already a bit of a stretch. Otherwise, we're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, push the knee out towards where our feet would be planted. Breathing in, relax, taking our other hand, and pushing as we breathe out. And if this feels like a really good stretch already, then you can just stay here and keep breathing. Otherwise, if you want more, reaching through, grabbing hold of that other leg, taking a deep breath in, and out, entering the stretch like we're trying to bring our ankle and our knee to our respective shoulders. Not that we're actually going to go that far, but that is the movement. If you like, you can close your eyes and just place all your focus on the feeling in the glute and the hip. Deep breath in. And exhale, relax and or deepen the stretch. And slowly let go. Plant the foot, cross the other leg over, and we'll go through that same checklist to see how it feels at rest. Deep breath in. Exhale, open the hip on its own. Breathing and relaxing. Taking a hand, exhale, push. Again, if that feels like a really good stretch, then you can just stay there and keep breathing. Otherwise, you're coming through like I am, taking a deep breath in and out, entering the stretch. And just breathing. Deep breath in and out, relax and or deepen the stretch. And Very slowly release that leg. Grab hold of our strap band or belt. Put it underneath our left foot in the upper quadrant, so below the toes, just on the pad there, and then bring our foot into the air with a slightly bent knee. Okay, and then we're going to take a deep breath in all together. Exhale, straighten the leg first, and then stretch the leg like we're trying to bring our big toe to the wall behind us, keeping that leg straight as can be. Just breathing. Be mindful of your hips here too. We don't need to be super forceful with the stretch. Like, you should reach a point where you're feeling it without needing to hike your leg up and like lift your butt off the ground. Like, I can get my leg further, but now my hips are off the ground. We don't want that. We want to be stretching it while our hips are fixed to the floor. And then taking a deep breath in. Exhale, turn the big toe towards our center, keeping the leg straight. So if we need to, we can lower that leg to keep it straight. Deep breath in. And exhale, turn the big toe away from the body. Same rules apply. Deep breath in. And exhale, center the foot and release the foot. And we'll switch sides. Slightly bent knee. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale, straighten the leg and then stretch the leg. Ooh, it's tight. Deep breath in. And exhale, turn the big toe towards the middle, keeping that leg straight. Deep breath in. And exhale, turn the big toe away. Deep breath in. And exhale, center and release the leg. And then we're coming on to our front for our hip abductor rock back. I usually like to get some extra padding for my knees here. I have an additional exercise mat. It's a little thicker than my one I normally use. Either that, or you could take a towel or a blanket and fold it just to give you a little extra. I find, especially when you get wide, the inner part of your knee is not super happy being against the ground. And we're going to set up like we do for our bird dog, but try with your knees a little wider. And then as we breathe out, we rock our hips back. And if you find it's really hard to get low, then try a more narrow stance. If you find it's really easy, then explore going a little wider with the knees. There we go. Okay. And we're going to do this for 60 seconds. So breathing out, rocking back. Breathing in, coming forward, and you can stay down as long as you like. Just listen to your body and make sure you breathe as you go through it. And we'll start 60 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Breathing out and in. It's really at your own pace here. I'll probably stay down low for longer myself, but really if you like going a little faster, that's fine. If you want to explore going even further, you can slowly walk the hands out, but make sure you're keeping a straight back while you do so. you are down low right now, like I just was, it's time to start working your way back. And then when we rock forward to finish off, we want to come further forward than where we started, but we can bring in one knee at a time, bit by bit, until they're underneath us again. And then we're going into our hip flexor with reach. So in our normal hip flexor position, tuck that tailbone, tuck the chin ever so slightly, lengthen our neck a bit, and then hand comes under thigh, and when we breathe out, we reach overhead, but we're not tipping our body, where everything is set and just the arm, just the fingertips reaching over that midline, imaginary line there, and then coming back down on the breath in. And we will do 30 seconds starting in 3, 2, 1, breathing out. And okay, let's switch knees. Same thing on this side. I'll give everybody a moment to get set up. And we will continue in 3, 2, 1, breathing out. And okay, a little sip of water if you need. And then we are on our backs again for our hip opener. Again, try and get comfortable for your starting position. We're going to start with that left leg again, bring it across our thigh. And we're going to go through a checklist again too, because we've done a lot of stretching that acts on the hip. So things may feel better, maybe they feel a little tighter. Those are both possible. So see how we feel at rest, breathing in and out, opening up the hip, breathing in, relaxing, and breathing out, pushing with the hand. And again, if this feels like a good stretch, you can stay there. Otherwise, reaching through, grabbing hold, deep breath in, and exhale into the stretch. Deep breath in, and exhale, relax and or deepen. And slowly release, planting the foot, crossing over the other leg. And we'll go through that checklist again, so see how it feels at rest. Deep breath in. Exhale, open up. Inhale, relax. And exhale, press. Again, if it feels like a stretch, stay put. Otherwise, we're reaching through, grabbing hold, deep breath in, and exhale, enter the stretch. Deep breath in. And exhale, relax and or deepen the stretch. Slowly release. Grab the strap, belt, or band, or back onto that left leg, that left foot in the upper quadrant below the toes. Starting with a slightly bent knee. And deep breath in. Exhale, straighten the leg, then stretch the leg. Keeping the hips planted on the ground and keeping that leg straight. Deep breath in. Exhale, turn the foot, lower the leg if you need to, if that means keeping it straight. Deep breath in. And exhale, turn the big toe away. Breathing in and out, centering and releasing, and then let's switch feet. Slightly bent knee. Deep breath in. Exhale, straighten the leg and stretch the leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, turn the big toe in. Deep breath in. Exhale, turn the big toe away. Deep breath in. Exhale, center and release. Onto our front. Get a wide stance with the knees in our bird dog position, and then we'll start 60 seconds all together in 3, 2, 1. Rocking the hips back as you breathe out. And breathing in when we come forward. And if you're down low, it's time to start working your way back up. And then when we come forward and out, we want to come more forward than where we started. And we can move one knee in a little bit, move the other knee in a little bit and just keep doing that until we're centered again. And then we're right back to our hip flexor with reach. Give everybody a moment. Okay, looks good. So hand under thigh, deep breath in, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. And let's switch legs. Tuck the tailbone. Hand comes under thigh. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Get a sip of water if you need. Otherwise, lay on your back on your mat. Get nice and comfortable, and we'll start our breathing cool down. So you can do arms out, palms up. You can do hand on belly button, hand on chest. You can do feet planted. You can do legs out, sprawled out, whatever is comfortable. Usually I like to do feet planted myself, but sometimes I like doing legs out. Maybe I'll do that today. And then once you're comfortable, just start taking nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth with our eyes open. On our next big exhale, we can slowly close our eyes and switch to breathing only through our nose if possible. I'm a little stuffy myself with allergies, so I totally get it if you gotta breathe through your mouth. And when you're ready, you can add on the visualization of a small, colorful ball that rests on your stomach. And when you breathe in, your belly button rises, it rolls away from the belly button. When you breathe out and your belly button falls, it rolls back to the belly button. So about to the bottom of the ribs, back to the stomach. And then we're going to also add on the counting of our breath. Breathing in is 1, breathing out is 2, inhale 3, exhale 4. And I like to picture the number of the breath on the little ball as it's rolling. If you have your own trick or way of doing it, that's also good. It's just really my way of doing it. Okay, we're gonna let go of the breathing. Sorry, the ball and the counting of the breath more specifically. Then we're gonna move on to the body scan. So we want to picture ourselves, we are laying on our mat, and we're gonna scan from top of the head all the way down to the big toe. And I'll narrate the pace going down, and then I'll let you work your way back up on your own. So starting at the crown, going to the forehead, brow, eyes and nose, mouth and jaw, through the neck, down to the collarbones and the shoulders, running over the ribs and the arms, through the forearms, the wrist, the hands over the stomach and belly button, down to the waist and through the hips, into the thigh, over the knee, and down the shin all the way into the ankle, along the top of the foot, and finally to the big toe. So then at your own pace, work your way back up to the top. And if you find any points of tension or discomfort, I want you to spend 1 to 2 deep breaths with it. When you breathe out, I want you to picture that tension or discomfort leaving at the breath or leaving into the floor. And as always, I want you to remember not to fixate on these points. We spend that moment with them, and then we move on. And once you're back to the crown of your head, you can go back to counting your breath for the next minute or so. Okay, let's finish that breath. Deep breath in all the way full. Holding a moment and out all the way empty. Holding and breathing is normal. We can start to shift our focus back to our surroundings. So any sounds or smells you might notice, how the floor feels against you. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Slowly open your eyes, go onto your side, help yourself up with your arms. And that is our Core Fusion for Wednesday. Thank you for joining again.
Thanks, Cameron. That was great.
Thank you.